Okay. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to our third week of doing this weekly webinar of surviving and thriving through Corona and all the craziness going on. I'm Veronica Benson. I am the founder of Utah Women's Retreats, and with the help of my friend Amanda from On the Go Goodness, we decided that we wanted to bring women together more often, and the best way to do that right now is through technology. So I'm super grateful to be able to do that and be able to see what you guys are up to, and also bring to you some topics that could be of use and value. Today we have 3 different speakers on, and I'll let them introduce themselves, but we always are going to be trying to bring new things to you and new things to our community. And so if you have topics that you would like to see addressed or that you'd like to talk about, then message us and we will try to bring someone on that we can talk about that. So our first speaker is Briquel, and she is a hairstylist and does all things hair. So I know, like, I am not alone in this, in taking the clippers and the scissors to my own kids' hair, because like hair salons aren't open right now, right? So she's going to share with us some stuff before you take the scissors to your hair or to somebody else's hair, and give you a few tips. So Briquel, what are you? If you're unmuted, you can go ahead and get going, and we'll just go from there. Thanks, guys.
Perfect. Thanks, Veronica. Like she said, my name's Briquel. I've been doing hair for over 15 years now. I love it, and I recently moved up here to Utah from Las Vegas, where I grew up. So I'm glad to be here, and I am going to share some tips with you on what you can do in terms of cutting your family's hair at home. There's a lot of information that I want to share, and so I'm only going to share a little snippet of it, and then I'll direct you to my Instagram page where I do video tutorials in great detail to help you. And in fact, I just did a couple of videos on this particular subject. So first, men's haircut. It's so hard and it's tough to not be able to go to the salon right now, and I understand that. So I hope these tips will help you. But my main thing I wanted to share with you is when you are doing a guy's haircut from home, you want to try and do it in that window of 2 to 3 weeks out from their last haircut. And the reason why we want to do that is it helps you see the shape that the stylist gave beforehand, so you kind of have an easier way to guide it and direct that haircut, and it's just easier. You may ask, well, it's been longer than 3 weeks. It's been like 5 or 6 weeks. What do I do? And so my advice there is kind of give it baby steps. You know, if it's over the ears, first take your scissors and trim around the ears, kind of see how that goes from there, and then cut maybe 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch at a time. Don't go with your stylist and get like a 2 guard and try and shave it all off at once. Then it's going to become uneven, you're going to get discouraged, and then you're also going to get really, your child is going to get really frustrated with you. So take those baby steps. Another thing with guys' haircuts is you really want to taper around the hairline. And when I mean tapering, I mean you want to cut it a little bit shorter around that hairline, so when it's growing out, it's staying nice and clean cut, and it doesn't look shaggy quite as quick. And when I say tapering, I'm going to use my hand as an example. If this is the hairline right here, we are going to want to layer it super short coming from this hairline and moving it out towards the head. So I'm going to do that with my comb. And I share this in my video, so hopefully you can refer back to that. But my comb, if this is my guard, I'm going to put my comb closest to the hairline. I'm going to hold it right there. And then I'll take my trimmers, and I'm going to trim it as close to the comb as possible. But if I angle this comb out, it's going to guard the rest of the hair, so I'm not bicking it all the way. Does that make sense? Veronica, I'm seeing your face.
Yeah.
You're like,
that makes sense.
So, and I know that you said you cut your son's hair and you bicked it a little bit and there's like a little bit of a hole. That's okay. It happens. My first haircut after hair school was with my dad, and he turned into my clippers right when I was trying to blend. So I got this really big hole in his head. But use your comb as your guard and your protector with your clippers. So use your comb and the shortest part of the hair, you want to hold it there, and anything else that's coming out of that comb, take your clipper and swipe it across there, and it'll make it more even. Okay, and if you're worried about it getting a divot, then kind of pull it out just a little bit. So it takes practice. I explain that a little bit more in my video. What I do recommend when you are tapering is use smaller clippers as opposed to bigger ones. These do not cut that as close to the head or the scalp as the trimmers do. So you can be more precise here, and it can help you a lot more. And if you want, in the comments after I'm done, I can type the brands and everything so you guys know what to shop for. And then the other big thing that I want to share, tip when you guys are doing a haircut, is a men's haircut should not take you any longer than 45 minutes to an hour. And the reason why I say that is you could get discouraged and you could just keep hacking at it and keep going and keep going. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and allow a week or two for it to grow out for you to kind of blend in all together a little bit more. And I am not opposed to you messaging me, even if we're strangers, if we've never met. Send me a message and you say, Raquel, I am totally lost. What's going on? You know, we can get on a video chat and I can kind of walk you through it. I am not opposed to doing that at all. So those are men's cuts. And I want to share a little bit about your daughter's hair. So I have a 5-year-old daughter who has long, luscious hair, like better than mine. And we gave her a haircut recently, and I just noticed how much she wiggles all the time, and she'll lean on one side and she'll lean on the other. And so when you are giving your daughter a haircut, you want to make sure that the weight on their shoulders are even. If they're standing up, don't let them slouch on one side. If they're in the chair, same thing. Get their shoulders straight, and then when you are cutting the back, you want their chin all the way down. So when you're pulling the hair out, you're getting this nice straight line. If they're up and you're trying to hold it straight, it's going to create this space right here, and you're not going to be able to get a really nice, pretty line. Does that make sense too? Veronica,
Yeah.
I'm seeing you go like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So
all the mistakes that I've made, yes. So yeah.
It's okay. I mean, and you're talking to somebody who's been doing it for 15 years. Like, that's just natural to me. So it's just something you're going to hear it over and over and over again, and it'll start coming natural to you as well. But same with a girl's haircut, you don't want to do any makeovers here. We're just looking on like small trims, an inch at a time, maybe an inch and a half if you're comfortable, but we don't want like long hair cut into bobs here. Like, that's not, leave that to the professionals, you know? And so another thing I wanted to point out is when you are doing the back, that's where most people have the most amount of hair on their head is in the back. So don't try and cut everything at once. Do little parts at a time and use your guide to cut there. I wish I had my mannequin or my daughter here, but I don't. So I'm going to refer you to my videos that I've done. But hopefully that gives you at least some reference to get started. Are there any questions that I can answer for anybody?
Yeah, if you have any questions, just unmute yourself at the bottom left hand.
Do you recommend cutting bangs right now during Corona?
You know, Amanda, that's actually another video that I'm going to be doing this week, because I actually have bangs, but they're longer. No, I don't. I don't recommend it. But if you're going to do, I say little steps at a time. Don't cut them straight. You want to point cut them. Make them look more natural by cutting into them at a point instead of straight across. When you do point or do bangs, I'm just gonna nerd out for a second. You guys want to twist it, and that side becomes longer than that side, and then you point cut it, so when you let go, it'll frame your eyes a little bit, and it's not just like the straight, like little girl bangs. Does that make sense? Am I?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Answer for your short question, Amanda. No, but if you want to. Anybody else?
Don't do it, Amanda. Don't do it.
I've got one.
Yeah.
My husband likes the Pomodoro where there's like the part and it's longer on top. and it's looking really awful right now. I'm
Uh-huh.
terrified he's gonna ask me about it. What do I do? Like, leave it for now and just let it be raggy?
Um,
Just
that
try and trim the edges?
that's what I would do. I would really taper into that neckline. Do you have trimmers at home?
Yeah.
So what do they have guards too?
Uh-huh.
That little protector. So what I would do is just shave the sides of the hair and not really worry about the top part,
Okay.
except for when it's really heavy right there. The video that I did of me cutting my husband's hair, he has a very similar hairstyle. It's not as extreme as some that are out there, but you'll see that I shave it pretty short here, and your picture keeps moving, so I'm trying to like look right at you, Laura. But so take your trimmers and just kind of shave the sides, but don't worry a ton about the top, just because that's meant to be a little bit longer anyways. But take small steps there. Don't take the trimmers all the way up. Kind of start there and blend up as you go. And I explained that in my video, and I'll put the link on my videos in the comments so you know
That'd be
exactly where
awesome.
to push on it. So.
Okay. No, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll be watching lots of those because that's the time we're in.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions, you guys? And her videos, we'll put her Instagram down, and you can type it in the chat too when you get out, Brickell. But go check out her videos, because honestly, she'll walk you through it, and you can rewatch, and you know, they're really detailed. So it's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I love about my videos, is that it is very detailed, and I walk you through it, and I try to explain things enough where people who don't have the experience that I have can still understand it. So
awesome. Okay. All right. Well, our next speaker is Whitney, and she's going to be talking about, she owns a day spa here in Utah, and she does all things aesthetics. And so, Whitney, I'm going to have you unmute. If you can't find it, let me know. And put your camera on. Is it on?
Oh,
Whitney?
my camera. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Sweet.
Me
Okay.
too.
Yes.
Okay.
So Whitney's going to be talking about how we can use physical touch to just connect, but also to deal with like stress and anxiety and all kind of the emotions of what we feel. So I'm gonna let her explain it because she does better, but I'm glad she's on. So thanks, Whitney.
Hey. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I, like Veronica said, I'm in Orem, Utah. I've been doing aesthetics for about 10 years. I'm super passionate about skincare, but I also love just the whole spa experience. So for me, when I became an esthetician, it was very much blending skincare, but also with that like Ayurvedic, let's go to the spa and de-stress. So when this all happened and I had to close my doors for my spa, I know that I have a lot of clients who are lacking in that more Ayurvedic part of what I do at the spa. Like I can recommend skincare, we can do all of those things, but I know that a lot of people come to see me. I have widowed clients, I have divorced clients, I have seen, just all range of older to younger clients that I know that come get facials because they enjoy that physical aspect of being touched. Just like if you've had a massage, you leave and you're kind of like wobbly and relaxed, and there's reasons for that. So when this all happened, I also have a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and their stress level was through the roof, but they were having a hard time pinpointing all of the emotions that they were feeling. So I actually messaged Veronica because I wanted to get on and share with all of you, if you're moms, and if you don't have kids, this translates to if you have a significant other that's with you, or you can do it on yourself. But I want to be able to give you guys tools to help bring down those feelings that everyone's feeling right now and be able to create a somewhat of like a spa experience for you at home. So basically, when you were talking about the power of touch literally, when you start applying pressure to your skin on certain points of your body, it helps lower cortisol by releasing oxytocin. So we're all in this traumatic experience right now with what's going on with coronavirus, and everyone's stress level and cortisol levels are through the roof. And as adults, we can kind of communicate that and be like, man, I'm really stressed. Like I, for instance, coped with my stress by eating, and I've put on basically 8 pounds in the last month. But
You're not alone.
right? Like it's been insane. Or, you know, some of us can cope with working out or different things, but when we're talking about like a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, they don't know how to cope with this unknown stress that they're picking up in the environment around them, that they're picking up from their parents because I'm stressed and I'm, you know, short with my kids, and then they're picking up on that. But also my little 6-year-old came home from school and was worried about this virus that was going around before I had even actually had a chance to explain it to her. So she already had like some stress coming in. And yeah, so currently we're living in some weird world where our cortisol levels are going through the roof. So I'm going to show you guys some techniques that you can use on yourself, on your kids, or on your spouses to help bring that down. Now, I did like an hour long of this on my Instagram, and I've got it uploaded on my Instagram TV, so you guys can go back to that. And I'll also post on my Instagram stories photos of all of the pressure points so you can know where you need to be hitting so that you guys can see that and screenshot them. But yeah, let's just get to it. So touch boosts oxytocin. It also stimulates, I have my little notes here, serotonin and dopamine, which basically are going to help your body combat and lower stress. So the long and short of it is the power of physical touch is just going to bring down all of that stress. And as a parent, you have a lot of emotion that you can convey to your child, even just through the power of touch. Like if you think about when your kids were babies, the first thing you did with your baby was put it up on your chest, and they want you to do that skin to skin, right? Because that power of touch is so strong. And then as they get older, you're playing, you know, little piggy, you're squeezing their feet, and you're unknowingly hitting pressure points when you're rubbing them with lotion, when you're playing the little games. And then as we get older and they get older, we kind of space back and we're not physically touching our kids as much as when they were little. So we've kind of lost that touch. So it might be kind of weird at first for you to be like, hey, I'm going to come massage your foot if your kid's like 15, or I'm going to like, let me give you a hand massage. If that's the case, then what I did with my kids, just because I'm obsessed with spas, and what I had a lot of my friends do is actually set up a spa day and make this kind of a fun activity for your whole family. So I just, you know, turned on some nice music in my room, dimmed the lights, lit a candle, laid a blanket out on my bed, and I just had them lay across horizontally. I have a massage table, but when I did the video, most people don't. Just pick a nice cozy area in your house and full on set the tone for a spa experience at your house. That way, if you have kids that are maybe a little more resistant, it kind of puts more of a fun spin on it. You're gonna have your kids lay on your back, or whoever you're gonna do this on, lay on their back on the table. And I always have an essential oil to start with. So I would just put a few drops in my hand, rub, and then you're just gonna hold over their nose and have them take 3 deep breaths in through their nose. And I always tell my clients to pull the air deep into your stomach, not a shallow breath in your chest, but you really want to breathe in deep so that you're inflating your belly, and then breathe it out through your mouth. If you don't have an essential oil, just use a smell that they love. My 6-year-old loves the smell of my perfume. When she's stressed, she'll ask me to spray it on one of my coats, and she likes to cuddle it because it makes her feel good. So just any kind of smell that you like, that they like. If you're working on littler kids, if they have a favorite blankie, have them put it on them because that's a comforter for them. It'll help them calm down as well as your physical touch. But just have them take 3 deep breaths in because it kind of sets the tone. And then after you do that, what you're gonna do, I'm gonna get close to the camera. You guys have pressure points all along your face. So when you're looking at your face, sorry, this is a lot of info. I'm going fast because I really want you guys to have it. but if you're thinking of your forehead, I want you to think of a fan. Start right here where your eyebrows start, and you're just going to move upward. And then you're going to go out, out again, and then across your brow. But the way that you're going to do it is you're going to apply pressure. So this is an acupressure technique. And I will typically hold, not too hard, maybe like you were going to press a button. And you're going to hold for 3 seconds, release, and move back up. And you're going to continue to do that all the way up this fan that's on your forehead. Start back down on your brows. Same thing. Hold for 3 seconds and then shift and move. You have pressure points all along that forehead. The second you start pressing them, you're going to see that your kid or whoever you're doing this on, they're immediately going to start relaxing. Once you've finished the fan that's up on your forehead, you can go across the brow, and then you can start here on the side of your nose and work your way right under that cheekbone, doing the same thing. Hold for 3 seconds, let go, work all the way around. And if you are somebody that clenches when you're stressed, I clench my jaw. When you get into here, it's gonna feel really good, and it's gonna release a lot of that tension. And so after you've gone under the cheekbone, you're gonna start right at the lobe, and you're gonna hold. And sometimes you can even do like mini circles when you're pressing, and then let go. And you're gonna work your way down the whole jaw. Same thing, holding for 3, letting go, and then moving to the next point. And then you can even just push right here in the center of your chin. So that's basically a full face acupressure. You can also go through those same motions, but connect the dots, where instead of letting go, you can just hold and slide. Does that make sense? Hold and slide. After you've done the whole face, if you really want to get fancy, you can go and do like a full hand and arm massage. And this is not meant to be stressful for you guys if you feel like, well, I don't know how to massage. Literally just the act of touching your kid or whoever you're doing this on, it's going to feel good and they're going to like it. But when you do get to the hands, start at the palm and you can just apply pressure and slide up. You have pressure points all in here. I'll show a picture of reflexology on my Instagram stories so you can see this. But you're going to be hitting a bunch of pressure points that are also in the hand that are going to help release tension. Do that in both hands. And then my 6-year-old's favorite thing is to go in through the webs and you just kind of slide outwards like this. And then you can also just do that on the fingers. They're called finger pulls. That same thing will translate to your feet. Start at the ball of your foot and just work your way up. And what's fun about the feet is that you'll actually feel crystals in people's feet because your feet have meridians in your body. And if you have a blockage in like your intestines, or if you're stressed, or if you're having like, I don't know, kidney or gallbladder issues, if you look at reflexology, and again, I'll post these on my Instagram, while you're running through and applying the pressure on a foot, you might feel some crunching, and you can actually rub through that and it will release and rebalance the body. Sometimes people
That's
think
amazing.
this is like voodoo, but I'm telling you that it's real. Like
Yeah. This is amazing.
So that's kind of the long and short of it. You can also go through your whole scalp. You have pressure points all along the hairline that you can, apply the pressure, let go. You also have pressure points all along around the ear as well as in the ear. So on my little kids, I will do like a peace sign. You can rub upwards, or if you're coming at a down angle, obviously you'll be this way going down.
Do you guys have any questions for Whitney? I know it's a lot of information, but like she said, even if you don't know how to massage, even just the act of touching will make a lot.
Literally just touch your kids. Just touch people. Yeah.
Does anyone have questions? I want to make sure if you guys do, we can quickly go through that. If you do, unmute yourself and then you can hop in.
Whitney, when you're touching people are massaging them, do you use lotion? Do you use any type of, like, what do you use?
Yeah, if I'm doing their body, I'll do a body lotion. And again, you like if you're doing this at home, you don't need to go have massage oil or coconut oil. Like just grab whatever lotion you have laying around that you know is safe for you or your kids, and you can just use that. If I'm doing it on the face, if I have a face lotion, I'll use that. But if I'm just doing the pressure points, I won't put anything on their face. Or like I have a doTERRA unscented lotion, and I've used that on my kids' faces too, and it's been fine. Just whatever is safe, basically, that you know there won't be a reaction to.
Nice.
I was gonna mention on like the pressure points. It's like a game that I'll play with my husband of like take a picture of like reflexology and start pushing on things. You can always tell. It's like the craziest thing how you can feel like those crystals you were talking about.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's really cool though, because when you feel it crunching, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I have been having a stomach ache, and that's my stomach, and there's like crunching going on.
I was gonna say too. Oh, sorry, Laura. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have gotten my feet zoned for years, and at first thought it was like this voodoo crazy, but it is 100% real. And every time my kid's having an issue or sick, I'm like, let's get your feet zoned. It's like a thing. I 100% love it. And I think it goes hand in hand with so many different things and helps your mental health and your physical health. And so I thank you so much for the tips. This is amazing.
Yes.
So great.
Like I have friends who went and did this after I first put this on my Instagram who have younger kids like me, and the responses were overwhelming of how their kids were able to calm down. And we're talking like 6-year-olds were able to open up and say, I've been feeling really weird, Mom, but this is making me feel good. And when a kid says, I feel weird or I have a tummy ache, it means they don't know how to process the big feelings that they're having in their body. So foot zoning, even as a parent, just being able to come in and give this kind of physical touch to them, it makes them feel secure and safe, and it balances out those feelings that they don't know how to balance out themselves. So it really is powerful.
Yeah.
Here's one last thing I was going to share. I think I'm probably over my little time, but you guys can get these little rollers off Amazon. My little girl loves these, and they just roll over your face. They stay cold, so they feel good that way, and then they're just hitting all of those pressure points. You can roll all along them. If my kids are having big feelings and I need to calm them down, this will take them from a 10 to a 1 in about 30 seconds. I just make them lay down, and it just feels good. It changes their state, and it just balances out their body. So you can grab these off Amazon for like 10.
What is that called, Whitney?
It's a rose quartz roller. And you can also get them in jade. And if you're somebody that believes in stones and crystals, you can get like ice rollers. I prefer the stones or the crystals because rose quartz, it absorbs energy, negative energy in your body, and it promotes love and balance in your body. So when you are going over these pressure points on the face, if you're someone that's into the stones, like I'm kind of weird that way and I believe in crystals, this is a really powerful tool to help balance your body. And then jade also kind of does similar things, but it's more about balancing. Rose quartz is more about promoting love. So just Google quartz rollers on Amazon or something. You'll find them.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I think this is going to be really powerful. My husband does, like, he'll scratch the kids' backs at night before they go to sleep, and they'll ask, oh, can you kind of rub my back? And so I know touch is so important. So thank you so much for sharing.
Welcome.
And share, post your link in the comments so that they can see, and then your Instagram name. And you guys head on over there and see what she's got, because it's a lot. So thank you so much, Whitney.
Yeah, no problem.
Our next speaker is Amanda. So Amanda, go ahead and unmute. Whitney, if you will mute, let's see, or maybe I can do it. Amanda's going to be sharing a couple different Easter activities with us and things to do with our kids, families. I dare say that Easter is going to be quite a bit different than the normal, but that's okay. I think we can still make it a fun weekend. We can also, if you're religious, you can tap into why we celebrate Easter to begin with. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So Amanda, hop on in.
All right. Hello, everybody. Things are a little bit crazy around here. So if you saw, my Josie covered herself in head to toe with mulch, and so we had to clean her off, and there's a dog and just the thing. So thank you for not laughing at all the ridiculous things that I was doing just a minute ago. But I wanted to talk just a fun little Easter tips. Oh, hold on one second. I gotta my dog outside. Some Easter tips. Go outside when she is only 12 weeks old. So, she's got to go outside with the kids because I'm not going to be able to watch her 24/7. Okay. So, yes, like Veronica said, Easter's going to be different. And so we've got to kind of do some different Easter traditions, like our big family Easter egg hunts and things like that. They're not going to be the same. And so we wanted to come up with some creative ideas. Something that I wanted to share with you guys that my family does every year, and they're really looking forward to it this year, is a glow-in-the-dark Easter hunt. And I have teenagers and toddlers, and so this is something that excites both of them. And so what I love to do is I get the bracelets, the glow-in-the-dark bracelets from the dollar store. Luckily, the dollar store is considered essential, so they're still open. And so just wear your mask and gloves in there because it's a little bit dirty, but just do that. And so I went and got the pack of bracelets. And then actually at the dollar store, they have clear eggs, and I should have brought them, but they have some clear eggs and some really thin colored eggs. And so you break up the bracelets, put them in there, hide them in the dark. It's just a fun, different thing. You can put candy in them if you want to. We normally don't, but we just hide them, and you could do it a couple different times that night. And the kids love it because it's just something completely different. And, you can take it to the park, or you can take it in your own backyard. It's outside. Maybe your neighbors aren't going to care if you just kind of spread out a little bit because it'll be dark. They won't be out there. But it's a really fun thing that my kids love to do. Another thing that we like to do is we like to have s'mores, but we like to have them with Peeps. So just a little take on s'mores, a fun little Easter activity treat, because that is the only way you will get me to eat a Peep, is if they are barbecued. Because I don't like them. I don't know. I'm weird. Don't love them.
I don't like them.
But yeah. Yeah. But it's fun to do the s'mores. The kids love them because they're the different colors, and everybody's got them right now. And so even at the dollar store, they have them at the dollar store. So they have those. Another thing that's fun to do if you've got older kids is a scavenger hunt. Now, you keep it close to home, but everybody's doing stuff outside, and they may not like an Easter egg hunt. My big girls, they just don't like it. But we'll do a scavenger hunt, and we'll do money eggs for them. So I'll just gather my spare change that I will start gathering it and just put them in the eggs, and they love to do that. So we'll do a scavenger hunt, and I'll just write out clues of things that are pertinent to them, and usually it ends up back at our house anyways, but I'll send them around the block, like just to all different things, and I'll tape like a clue to the fence post or the mailbox or things like that. So they love that. It gives them something to do to still get in the spirit of it, and they're still doing an egg hunt without having to be the little kids. They don't love that so much. But I also wanted to share with you guys something that I do every year. I am usually at church in some sort of teaching capacity, and I share this lesson at church, but I also share it with my family. And it's just our Easter lesson, and it's all about the resurrection of Christ. And so I made this years and years ago, and I was looking on my computer and searching Pinterest, and I found it on my computer. I was like, oh my goodness, I already have this all ready to go. What I do is I have 12 different eggs, and it takes you through 12 different scriptures in the Bible talking about the resurrection of Christ. And I have different eggs, and it has different objects in every single egg. And objects like a piece of linen and dice and a piece of bread. And it takes you right through the whole process of the last few days of Christ's life and the resurrection. And of course, the last and final egg, we have a golden egg because those are the best ones, is empty to represent Christ's tomb. Actually has a piece of picture in it, or a paper in it right now that says it's empty. But I have a link to that for anybody that wants it. You just put everything in the eggs, super simple. I save my eggs every single year so that I have them with all of the stuff. So every year my family is like, oh, is that our lesson? So we have it, we go through it. It's super kid friendly and for the older kids, because you can have the objects and then you also have the scripture, so you can go through it. But it's just a really fun way to have a fun lesson and teach your children about the true meaning of Easter, with also having a little bit of fun. So young kids love it, teenagers love it, and so also do the adults. So it's definitely a fun Easter tradition that we do. I know some people will open up an egg every single day for 12 days, or you can even condense it down to 7 if you want. You can pick like just some of the ones and kind of condense it down, or you can do it all at once. So it's just a really fun Easter thing. So I just wanted to share those with you guys. It's going to be a non-traditional year, so it may be fun to start something different and just really focus on, you know, the true meaning of Christmas or Christmas. Hello. The true meaning of the holiday.
It's so fine.
I don't even know what day it is. Like, I don't even know. I am just all over the place. So I at least know that Easter is on Sunday, and that is some distant future. It's way down there. I don't even know. But yeah, so I just wanted to share those little tips with you. Do you guys have any questions or any ideas that you guys have done? Might as well. We have a minute we can share. No?
I love the egg one. We do that too. So if you guys don't have a copy of that, we'll link it to like a Google Doc, and you can go download it. And even if you don't have a printer, you can just write it out on paper and put it in the eggs. And even if you didn't have eggs, like seriously, you could just go through it, and maybe you probably already have some of those objects anyway, or you could look up a picture of them, you know? So
yeah,
it could work. It could work. So
yeah, and the items are like a small stone or a piece of bread or a dice. You know, they're just simple things that you have lying around the house. So it's nothing that you have to go find, like a piece of string. Like, they're just really simple things.
Yeah.
Amanda, I have an idea. I just put together this neighborhood scavenger hunt in our neighborhood where they could find pictures of rabbits or chicks or whatever, and there was a QR code placed in the corner of it so the kids could take their parents' phone and scan it to the next clue. And it was a lot of fun. It really brought the neighborhood together, and the kids were able to go on the same walk they've been doing every week, but kind of changed it up a little bit as well. So I have all that stuff figured out if you guys want that. But
yeah, why don't we figure out a link and do that? I think that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I am going to be sharing on my Instagram something that I'm doing with my neighborhood, and I probably should have shared this, but we're calling it Light the Night. We are doing a neighborhood luminary, and so everybody's going to be putting luminaries out in their neighborhood, and then or out in their driveways, and then we have like a way to go and something to do, and we're actually doing it Saturday night, and everyone's going to be showcasing like the light of Christ and how Christ has lit their lives. And so we gave everybody, I bought a whole bunch of paper bags and just took them out to all of my neighbors, and everybody's getting their own candles, but we're hoping that it will unite the neighborhood and just bring a little joy and a little happiness. So we're doing that, and I've put all of that together. So I'll have it all on my Instagram so people can see it.
Well, and Amanda, if you put like something at the bottom of the Google Doc, even when people go download it, that's another place maybe. So
yeah, I can add some stuff to that too. Yeah,
that would be awesome. So, okay, I'm gonna stop recording right now, and then if we want to chat,